for a close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football. This is Inside the Game. Sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Well, you know what time it is. Howdy and happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to another week of KSAN's Inside the Game, where we take you inside the games here in the Concho Valley. I'm your host tonight, Griff McClellan. Week 4 is nearly history as we speak, and the season is already flying by. But tonight, as usual, we've got all the scores and highlights of your favorite teams. So without further ado, let's dive right in, starting with our lone Class 6A representative, the Central Bobcats. The Bobcats hit the road in Week 4, looking for its second consecutive win, this time facing Belton for only the 4th time in matchup history. But tonight, it's all Central. They get it done 49-21, make that 3-1 series lead all time now. They take it for their first road win of the season. Mark Smith is now 2-2, Mike Smith 2-2 as well. Central gets it done 2-2. Over to Class 3A now, the second-ranked Wall Hawks take on the Monahans Lobos. Wall looking to stay unbeaten, while Monahans still searches for its first win. This marked the 3rd straight road contest for head coach Craig Slaughter and the Hawks, and they get it done tonight, making it look easy with a pretty triumphant win. Final score, Hawks 50, Lobos 13. And just up the road in Grape Creek, the Eagles host Colorado City and homecoming to kick off Week 4. First quarter action, already 7-0 Eagles. Braley Woods in the shotgun dumps it left to Darrell West, walks into the end zone, touchdown Eagles. 14-0. Next, Wolves possession, Colorado City trying to answer with a shot to the end zone right here in the pocket. He stays, but it's broken up nicely at the goal line by Randy Rodriguez. Receiver looks for a flag, doesn't get one. Same possession, a few plays later, Wolves going for it on 4th and short, but they will not get there. Darrell West again comes flying in for the stop as a defensive back that time. Second quarter, Grape Creek trying to capitalize. Direct snap to Anthony Saavedra, cuts left, now gains traction, evades several defenders, still on his feet. Finally brought down near the 40-yard line. That sets up another score right here. Woods in the pocket going deep. One-on-one coverage, and it's Darrell West, you guessed it, again, hauls it in, fends off the cornerback, and stays on his feet in the end zone. Touchdown Eagles, 21-0. Grape Creek sends the local fans home happy on homecoming night with an emphatic win. Final score in this one, 47 at last check. Concluding 3A action, Brady is home for the 2nd straight week, looking to bounce back versus Ballinger. Less than 8 minutes left in the half. Ballinger up 7-6, but here come the kids from McCullough County. Hand off to Ashton Taylor, the senior back, off to the races for a big gain, and Brady first down. Later that same drive, Brady going for it on 4th down, deep in the heart of Ballinger territory. Sean Jacoby to Ryland Pettigo for the 6-yard touchdown. Dogs go up for 2 and make it 14-7. Brady under a minute left in the half. Check out this run from the junior back, Johnny Roque, rumbling and bumbling, breaking 4 tackles along the way before he's brought down to the Ballinger 1-yard line. Just a few plays later, the Bearcats saying, watch out for the slant. Here it is, Sean Jacoby to Ethan Bernal for the 6-yard touchdown. Very next play, Bulldogs lining up for 2 again. Hand off to Johnny Roque. That cameraman better watch out. Dogs good for the conversion, leading 22-7 at the break. Brady is back in the win column after this one. Final score tonight, 36-19. Over to Class 4A. Get ready for this one. Undefeated Lakeview welcomes Lubbock High to San Angelo Stadium in its homecoming game. Lubbock turns it over on downs in the opening drive, leading to the Chiefs scoring first. Isaiah Rios with his first of 3 first-half scores right here. 7-0 home team on top. Lubbock's second drive is then capped off by a Bo Davis touchdown run, 1 of 2 he had in the first half. We're tied at 7-all. That's just the beginning, though. It's just the appetizer, if you ask me. Chiefs ball. Albizo to Nick. Leva goes out at the 3-yard line. Almost hits our cameraman, Brian Cunningham, as he avoids a hit. We'll get to him in a second. And Rios would punch in his second touchdown of the game, now 14-7. Lubbock then answers right back once again. Bo Davis does his best Bo Jackson impersonation, shakes off the big hit, 14-all in this tight one, shaping up to be a thriller. These two combined for 56 points in the first half, all knotted up at 28 going into halftime for this back-and-forth dogfight. And guess what? Lakeview holds on for the absolute thriller of a win, 50-49. And that said, it's now time to send it over to Brian Cunningham, who is live at San Angelo Stadium, to walk us through the thrilling ending of this one and hear his post-game reaction. Brian, take it away.
Good evening. We are live from San Angelo Stadium. I'm Brian Cunningham, and we are putting the bow on Week 4 of the high school football season. Lakeview putting the bow on homecoming night as they just hosted the Lubbock Westerners in what was a barn burner tonight. If you missed this game, I'm sorry that you missed one of the highest scoring games so far of the season. 56 total points between these two teams, tied 28-28 at the halftime score, and then 99 total points again scored as Lakeview just pulled off their first 4-0 start for the first time since 1983, and they did it behind their running back Rios in his touchdown day. So how did we get here? In the second half, we had about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Rios breaks a 95-yard touchdown run to make it 44-42, and then Lubbock would then respawn on a broken play, 35-yard touchdown reception to then take the lead. And then again, Lakeview storms down the field on their final possession, and they would take the 1-point lead, missing the 2-point conversion, and then all of a sudden they had to make a fourth down stop. Lubbock lined up on a fourth down play, and they would stop them. They would then take home the 50-49 win to secure 4-0 for the first time since 1983. And again, on homecoming night, again, Lakeview will be home for the next 2 weeks, and we'll see you then live from San Angelo Stadium. We're sending it back to you.
All right, thanks, Brian. Now time to call the first of 3 timeouts tonight, but when we come back, we'll have all scores and highlights among Class 2A schools. Don't go away until the game returns right after this. All right, folks, welcome back to KSAN's Inside the Game Week 4 edition. It's now time to dive into some Class 2A scores and highlights as promised, where tonight we start with a visit to Cristoval as the Cougars host the Sterling City Eagles. Cristoval looking to move to 500 on homecoming night with its second straight win, while Sterling City seeks its first win, coming in 0-3. First quarter, Eagles up 7-0. Cougars get on the board with this short touchdown pass from Ty DeBusk to Kelton Gibbs. 2-point conversion, good 8-7 Cougars. 7:41 remaining about midway through the first quarter. Still first quarter, DeBusk screen pass to Cannon Green on the left side. Then watch this, he cuts to his right, fights out defenders. On this 40-yard touchdown, down the sideline he goes, strengthens the Cougars' lead, makes a man miss there. Another 2-point conversion is good. Make it 16-7, still first quarter. Cristoval deep in its own territory. DeBusk, though, gets picked off. The Eagles just come up short of a pick 6. Down inside the 5, Sterling City takes over. Fourth down run here, but that goes nowhere. Steve Marino gets stopped by Cristoval. In second quarter now, Cougars deep in their own territory again. This time DeBusk connects on a beautiful throw to Gibbs again. He almost breaks free past Vance Davis in the second half, but later in the second, Cougars score again. 18-7 after a safety. DeBusk strikes again to Israel Boggs. Cougars up 25-7 now. And at last check, Cristoval is cruising. In cruise control, you could say 46-19 in the fourth quarter. Sonora heads west to Alpine, Texas, hoping to stay in the win column Friday night. The Broncos have had the Bucs' number in recent memory, coming in with 4 straight wins in the series, winning those games by an average margin of 24.5 points. Tonight, a lot closer, but Sonora does it again, this time winning by a narrow margin, 30-27. Now, arguably the hottest 2A team in the Concho Valley, Ozona hosts Harper. Running back Christian Villarreal and the Mighty Lions came in averaging a whopping 61 points per game. Trying to hold off the Longhorns tonight, Ozona looks like they'll get it done again, dominating at last check, giving fans something extra to celebrate during homecoming weekend. Ozona on the verge of 4-0, ahead 52-13. Now perhaps the most highly anticipated game of the week, 6th-ranked Junction entered the Puncher Dome, facing a Mason squad hungry for its first home win this season. You may recall one specific number surrounding this matchup, that is 18. Why? The Punchers had beaten the Eagles in 18 straight seasons entering tonight, so not since 2006. But Junction was ready to put an end to it, and they do just that with a statement. Taking care of business 27-16, the Eagles are 4-0, while the Punchers drop to 1-3. El Dorado visiting Miles in this all-Concho Valley clash. Both teams enter with 1-2 records. El Dorado ball first. Johnny Ray-Adam, the quarterback, back to pass, gets picked off, though, by Dalton Fisher, who takes it all the way back to the house. Bulldogs up 6-0. Heck of a start on homecoming night for the Bulldogs. The Eagles wouldn't go away that easy, though. Adam struggles with the snap, but corrals it and goes in the air, and somehow Amara Luna comes down with it to keep that drive alive. El Dorado marching. That leads to Adam again buying time in the pocket, takes the snap, connecting with Kane Brock in the end zone, makes it 7-6, putting El Dorado on top. And Adem would keep the Eagles soaring as this time he calls his own number, give it a second, and barrels it in for 6, puts El Dorado up more, 13-6 going into the break. And final score, the second half was pretty quiet in this one. The Eagles hold on 13-12 in this pretty low-scoring affair. Time now to call our second timeout of the night, but stay put because we've still got all things 6-man for you after this quick break. All right, folks, welcome back to KSAN's Inside the Game Week 4 edition. As promised, let's take a look at all scores and highlights among 6-man, also known as Class 1A schools, starting with the red-hot Water Valley Wildcats. Second-ranked Water Valley, that is, traveling on the road for the 3rd straight week, taking on Buena Vista, and the undefeated Wildcats have been on an absolute tear through 3 games heading into tonight, outscoring opponents 171-14, including a 54-point first quarter in week 3. Tonight, more of the same. Water Valley remains undefeated, taking down Buena Vista with authority, shutting them out. Final score, 52-0. Now onto this all-Concho Valley battle, unbeaten and 10th-ranked Robert Lee Steers visiting the winless Blackwell Hornets. Hornets desperately trying to avoid an 0-4 start after entering the preseason ranked. Nice cut downfield by Creed Cummings to start the game, but the Steers took over from that point. Bernard Sherwood hits Nate Semiongo on a slant. He takes it all the way. He makes defenders miss, and he's into the end zone, bulldozes his way. Touchdown Steelers. Blackwell trying to respond, and they do actually. Cummings sprints down the sideline, makes some guys miss. He outruns everybody, goes in for the score. A little breathing room for the Hornets, but not for long, though, because the Steelers cruise once again to improve to 4-0, dominant with a 54-6 win, while Blackwell's misery continues at 0-4. Erie County Hornets looking to get its season back on track, looking for its second straight win, hosting the Garden City Bearcats at OK Wolfenbarger Field. Garden City opens the scoring on its first possession, running it in, point after try, good, 8-0 early. Bearcats get another rushing TD early, this time to the outside corner and into the end zone, 16-0 visitors. Erie County, the home team, finally responds, though. Watch this. He's going to fool a cameraman just back and forth there. And the defense, Hornets finally get on the board, though, in the end zone, 16-8. Bearcats still in command. Another drive, another Bearcats score, though. 25 again up the gut, extends the lead, 24-8. 10 minutes to go before half, and the Hornets get on the board again, 24-16. So cutting within the deficit a little bit, but with 9 minutes to go. But from that point on, it was all Bearcats. They pounced the Hornets tonight. Final score, 66-20. The very best Falcons came in desperate for a win following a brutal 0-3 start, only managing to produce 8 points all season. In week 4, though, the Falcons entered the Bears' den at Baird, hoping to fly away with a win, and that's what it looks like at last check. Veribest on the verge of entering the win column, ahead by 20, 32-12. Paint Rock having the time of its life this season, coming off 2 straight wins, putting up 51 and 60 in back-to-back weeks, 2 and 3 to be exact. Tonight, that continues. Paint Rock improves to 3-1 with a 70-20 win. Indians' first-year head coach David McAbee is now 3-1 through his first 4 games at the helm after Paint Rock went winless last season. Brant visiting Menard, an all-Concho Valley matchup featuring 2 red-hot unbeaten teams. What more could you ask for? But hold on, tonight it's all Menard. The Yellow Jackets get the job done, shutting out the Longhorns 51-0. Brant suffers its first loss. That concludes Friday night's scoreboard. Looking ahead to this weekend, tomorrow, that is, the Eden Bulldogs hit the road in Strawn, Texas, about 2.5 hours away from here, taking on the Fannondale Falcons. First-year head coach Jeff Shelton and the Bulldogs hope to stay undefeated, coming off an impressive 50-point win over Lametta in Week 3. Kickoff scheduled for 2:30 p.m. Mark your calendars, folks. Week 4 is not done just yet. Time to call our third and final timeout of the night, but don't go just yet, because coming up next, our high school football trivia challenge, plus Week 4 headlines and a look ahead to Week 5. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for sticking around tonight. But before we conclude tonight's show, let's revisit our Concho Valley High School Football Trivia Challenge. And of course, with football season comes our annual Concho Valley High School Football Trivia Challenge. To enter the sweepstakes, simply visit our website, ConchoValleyHomepage.com, click the contest tab above, and submit your answers each week for your chance to win the grand prize, a $100 HEB gift card. Weekly winners are announced every Sunday, each of whom receive an automatic bid for the final drawing. The grand prize winner will be announced at the end of the season in mid-November with a date to be determined, so stay tuned every week, folks. Now, looking at this week's question, Mason is nicknamed the Punchers, but you might wonder, what exactly is a puncher in this context? Is it A, boxer, B, cowboy, C, lion, or D, bull? Again, remember to visit our site to submit your answer. And now to recap Week 4. There's a lot to break down here, so let's do it. Central dethrones Belton by 4 scores, as mentioned earlier, 49-21, winning its second straight to improve to 2-2. Also beaten Belton last year, so its second straight win there. Now 3-1 overall in its young series. Lakeview is 4-0 for the first time since 1983, as Brian Cunningham mentioned earlier, holding off Lubbock 50-49, and perhaps the game of the year, if you ask me, at least so far. That was just an incredible ending. That's what Texas high school football is all about, if you ask me. Just 2 teams going head-to-head, 4 touchdowns each by each team's star running back. What more could you ask for? Such an amazing game. Glad we got to witness that tonight. Second-ranked Wall destroys Monahans to improve to 4-0, making it easy, winning by 37 on the road. They'll be home next week. We'll get to that in a second. 6th-ranked Junction breaks the curse, defeating Mason for the first time since 2006. It's been 19 years, but they get it done at the Puncher Dome tonight. Mason in unfamiliar territory at 1-3, hoping to turn things around next week at home again. And 2nd-ranked Water Valley does it again, shutting out Buena Vista 52-0, just continuing to pile it on like they've done all season. And of course, looking ahead to Week 5, Central is on the road again, this time heading to Waco for a date with the Lions. And while Central is away, of course, Lakeview stays home at San Angelo Stadium, hosting Leveland. Wall returns to Clayton Weishuhn Field after a 3-game road trip, so first time in a month. They're welcoming Sweetwater to town for just its 2nd of 4 total home games this season. The Hawks look to become road warriors when it's all said and done, as they seek their first state title in Program history, Cristobal and Mason collide in another all-Concho Valley showdown. The Punchers are home again while the Cougars hit the road for the first time since week 1. And of course, we mentioned them just moments ago, 6th-ranked Junction comes home too after a pretty heroic victory tonight in Mason, facing Falls City next week to conclude non-district before its stacked District 14-2A Division II schedule kicks off 2 weeks from now. But that's not all. Let's look ahead to some key 1A matchups next week, starting with Water Valley. The 2nd-ranked Wildcats are home for the first time in a month, hosting Rochelle Thursday night, another undefeated top 10 team in the mix. Robert Lee hosts Sands at Griffith Stadium. Erie County hits the road for its biggest challenge yet, taking on 2nd-ranked Klondike. Menard travels to Paint Rock for an all-Concho Valley matchup, and wrap it up for 6-man. The Brant Longhorns host the Eden Bulldogs, another exciting all-Concho Valley clash. And that's unfortunately all the time we have for tonight, but thank you as always for tuning in. Inside the Game returns next Friday for Week 5, scores and highlights, and you don't want to miss that. So remember to stay tuned. Until then, have a good night, Concho Valley.
Catering for Friday night football staff is provided by Chick-fil-A. Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.